Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Mezco Toys 112 Collective Action Figure review on the Fantastic 4-pack set, which has been out for a while. I know I finally got my hands on it. Big thanks to Big Bad Toy Store for making this review possible. And I've been on a Fantastic Four trip. I've been reading the original comics and I am just loving it. And I love what Mezco's been doing lately. I've also been on a huge Mezco kick, as you guys have been seeing me review a lot more Mezco stuff lately. Anyway, we have this classic Fantastic Four logo, and then over here you can see some beautiful Kirby artwork right over here looking fantastic. And then on this side it says Fantastic Four. You get this huge metal tin, which by the way I didn't measure. Damn, you're looking at about 16 inches tall and you're looking at about 6.5 inches deep. And when you turn it around this way, you can see you have a 4 logo over there, and then looking over here you get the 4 logo again. And I guess we can just lift up to give you guys an idea what's inside. You can see we have directions right there. You have a letter of authenticity. You have a little softy soft protective piece right over here, and then you can see the Fantastic Four inside right over there. All right, man, I'm very excited for this set, so let's get to it and crack this thing open. But first, if you're trying to get your Mezco toys, you can do so at
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And here are the figures out of the packaging, and they are quite impressive. I gotta say, this set is pretty amazing. A lot of good stuff to look at over here. I can't say I like every single thing about it, though, so I will give you guys my gripes. I definitely have gripes throughout the set, but so far, my initial thoughts, oh man, this is very, very fun, and there are a ton of accessories to get into. So let's get a closer look at each of the characters one by one, and then we'll look at the accessories that come with each character as we go through them. Let's look at Herbie first. I don't like Herbie, to be honest with you. When I was a kid, I would go to the video store and try to find movies or cartoons or anything I could find on Marvel. And like the cartoon back in the day looked really cool. And then I saw, oh, it's No Human Torch, which was my favorite Fantastic Four character, especially back in the day. And they had Herbie instead. I guess it was over a legal issue. I wasn't really old enough to know about the speculation about their, the flame, being too much for kids. But anyway, never really liked Herbie, but I do like that they included him in the comic books eventually. I love this gunmetal gray, and I love that you can get his eyes popping out right over here. You have this soft rubbery material right here for the neck, so that helps with articulation a ton. You can see how that could bend around in any direction. I think that's very, very cool. This tray with the circuit board is super tough to get out. I even accidentally chipped off a little bit of paint trying to get my fingernail underneath there to get that out. I even heated it up and had a hard time getting that out of there. But yeah, it's cool that it's there and it doesn't ruin it, the way I have that paint chipped off. I don't think it's ruined. And then you get this cool looking screen right there. And then you have your keyboard. So you have Mr. Fantastic typing away on it and everything. I think that's pretty badass. And you can go ahead and close that up. And you have this nicely sculpted 4 on here. And then you can see he has interchangeable arms. So these arms, they bend at the elbow. They could rotate any direction up here. And then you get the finger or hand clamping action right there as well. But if you don't want him with his arms out, you can go ahead and take all of this off and replace with these guys right here to cover that up, because he doesn't always have his arms out, and I think that looks pretty good. Then he's got his little jet boosters over here, which is pretty sweet. I love the orange to yellow gradient right there. I feel like I don't port them in all the way. There's like a tiny little gappage when I port these in here. And of course, you don't have to have them in there. You could have them walking around if you want, and you get the stand that comes with it that ports in nicely over there, and you can see the base of it right over there. So yeah, if you want this different look, you can do it. And you could have this little version of Herbie or Wally right away. I just watched Wally with my kids recently, so now I'm thinking of Wally. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, it looks cool. And then I wanted to mention that you do get ball joints right here and right here. I like to push in or position this so that the pointy parts are facing forward. And you also get a little butt flap right over here. So there's more circuits and things like that right here. I think that's very cool. I love what Mezco does with their details. Love that gunmetal gray too. But all those little colors in there. Oh my god, these are actual test tubes in here. I didn't even realize that. Look at that. So freaking cool. So much detail right here. Damn, these are going to be hard to put in here. I recommend not messing with them unless you want to risk losing these. But yeah, they fall out fairly easy when you dump this upside down. Not every single one does. But still very cool, man. I love the surprises. Damn it. I also wanted to mention that this stand is very cool because it allows for clearance for posability. So that's really neat that we have this gap right here. So yeah, I will say Johnny is my favorite member of the Fantastic Four, and I like all three of these head sculpts. You gotta have a smiling Johnny head sculpt right here. I feel like the right eye might be a little bit closer to the center than it should, but I'm only noticing that now after using the macro lens. I love the sculpt of the hair. The flesh tone looks really good. I like the details of paint mixed in with the hair right here too. So I think that looks really good. I could see a little bit of flesh tone underneath it though. Is that just me? Or am I tripping? Is he balding? Are you balding already, Johnny? But yeah, that mostly looks really good. I guess it's just on the back. I could see some flesh tone creeping up in there, and I don't like that. So that bothers me. But we have an alternate head right here. The ball joints are attached to the heads, by the way. And you could just easily port that on, and we have a more serious Johnny right here. The eyes are a lot more centered. And again, the hair looks good. Flesh tone looks good and everything. So I'm pretty happy with that. Not as much flesh tone coming through in the back with that one, so I'm just noticing that now. But yeah, I like the sculpt of it and everything, man. So we get this cool feature with this figure because it comes with its own set of batteries. I have the empty tray right over here, but you get 3 big ones and 2 small ones. The 2 small ones are for this third head that he comes with, and I think that looks really badass. I'm really happy with this. That looks so cool. I like even the little lines right here along the face. That's really neat. So you get that streaking pattern that we got from Kirby back in the day. There's a little switch underneath here, and you flip the switch, and boom, look how much he lights up. Damn, that is awesome. I shut these lights off right here so you can see that. I think that is very, very cool. Looks like there's a little piece of paint missing from his eyebrow, but I still like this quite a bit. But shutting this off, port it onto the figure itself, you don't only have to remove this head, you get a neck piece. So you kind of have to pinch into the neck right here and pull this little sleeve off. And we have a similar thing with the Mr. Fantastic figure too. Then you have this little red neck piece right here. No pun intended or anything. This looks very smooth right over here, and I like it a lot. I almost wish we had like a little Staction figure in his full flame on mode because, you know, you get this awesome fabric throughout. I do like it a lot. And the 4 is all sculpted over here. And the gloves look pretty good. You get these tiny little 4s. Oop, that's my email. Sorry, I forgot to close that window over there. And he does have fireballs and fireball throwing hands, which is very cool. He has 3 of these fireballs, so you could just rest that in the palm of his hand, and they look really good too, so I'm really happy with that. He also has this throwing fireball effect right here, which is really cool too. So I like this, and you could go ahead and just clip this onto the wrist. And you could set it up the way you want, you know, and have him throwing a fireball. That's really awesome. He comes with 2 flat hands, aside from those fireball grabbing hands. He comes with a set of fisted hands. And then he also comes with these wide open throwing hands too, with nice little wrinkles in the gloves. Look at that detail right there. I really like that a lot. These are very easy to pop on and off the figure. I do appreciate that. The belt can get a little shifty. You can see the musculature underneath the suit right here. Not all kinds of crazy stitching, I guess, in the back right there. The belt will slide around a little bit. And yeah, legs look pretty solid. Boots look pretty good over here. And you get tread details at the bottom of the feet with peg holes. So this is an awesome accessory. You get the black glove hand attached with this awesome fireball throwing effect piece. I absolutely love this thing. I have to have him with this on the display stand. This is just way too cool. I really like that a lot, man. And then you get this back flamey piece that you could just attach right over here. It just rests on there. So if you move it around a lot, it will fall off. But it rests on there okay enough for displaying, but I wish it had a little bit. I don't want it to be super secure because I don't want it to tear into the fabric, so that's just a tricky compromise. And then you get 5 of these other flame effect pieces that you can just stack on top of the figure and put on it any way you want to. Luckily for me, I haven't had damage done to the fabric by putting these on here, so I'm pretty happy with that. I am pretty stoked about it. Now, of course, I do want to be careful when I apply these, but I haven't damaged any of this, and I am stoked about that. Unfortunately, I did break the stand. This is one of the coolest Human Torch effects pieces that I've ever seen, and I busted it putting this Marvel Legends figure on it because I just wanted to see a fully flamed Human Torch on there that badly that I had to put this guy on there, and it does look pretty cool, but this on its own looks really, really badass. I love this. It has the 3 batteries in there already, and flame on right there, and that looks sick. So the directions tell you, you detach right here. The brake is totally my fault. I was using a figure that didn't come with it, and I stressed it, and I snapped one of these little pegs. Fortunately for me, though, I could still get this to work. It still connects together and everything, and I could still display Johnny on here. But damn it, this looks so freaking badass. It's just a little tricky getting these legs woven through these sections right over here, and you could mess with it however you want. It's just a little bit tricky, and I freaking love this accessory, man. This is badass. Then you're just looking at one of the Sue Storm head sculpts. I didn't remember that Johnny and Sue had brown eyebrows, but I went back and checked the books that they, have dark eyebrows. I'm not the biggest fan of this figure. This is my least favorite one out of all of them. However, I will say this whole forehead magnet idea is pretty awesome. I like seeing new ideas come through, and they have this whole effect piece with the magnet inside, and she has magnets in her foreheads, and I think that's really cool. However, it just makes for an ugly looking head sculpt overall. I don't think it's the prettiest rendition of Sue Storm that I've ever seen. I just don't like it. The hair looks pretty good though, and she does come with two other heads, sorry. So she has this one right here. Inside right here is painted, so I like that. Nicely painted hair, and it's nice and soft and rubbery too, so I like that. And then this is like the mean version right there. So that's another cool one. They look all right. It's just, I wish I liked them more. It just looks a bit off to me. I don't know. It's the forehead maybe. It does look like a big forehead. Let me know what you guys think about it. But I love the feature, and it works with all three of them too. It's not just the one forehead, so that is also very cool. I guess her head doesn't look so big when you have it on there, but yeah, I'm probably going to have to display it on there just because I think it's such a cool idea. Then the suit and the fabric looks good. I have a little tiny black dot right there that I wasn't able to get off. Now the body mold for this, I think they did go a little bit extra right there on the cups. It looks a little augmented to me. I mean, I normally like that, but damn, I just didn't expect that to stand out so much. It is distracting. Like, she's got big old Fantasticos right there. And then the gloves right here look pretty good. Get the little fours on there and everything. The belt shifts around some. You know, the hips could be a little bit wider, I guess. Doesn't look too bad. And yeah, I mean, the form of the figure is mostly really good. It's not bad. I guess better to have them bigger than smaller. I don't know, but I want to know what you guys think about that. Boots look pretty good right here, and we get some cool treads right there at the bottom of the feet as well. She has her fist hands on here, and she comes with one pointing hand, unless I lost it, but I'm pretty sure it's just the one pointing hand. She has flat hands, and then she has 4 other open hands, which is just ridiculous. These open hands right here, super flayed out finger hands right here. Pinky's kind of close together with these hands right there. And we get these open hands as well. And I think I paired them all together. Unfortunately, I have a hard time using these accessories with these hands. They show you in the directions how to put them on. Watch, I'm going to do it all perfectly and easy the first time. See, there you go. God damn it. It just happens every time. If you're an action figure reviewer, you know what I'm talking about. But a lot of the time, I do have a hard time getting these things ported onto a hand. But there you go. It worked all nice and easy right there. Get some nice blue frosted paint over this translucent white plastic, or translucent and white. I normally like to just see straight up translucent instead of the little hint of blue, but I kind of like it at the same time. I know I'm contradicting myself. You also get this piece right here, which is cool to add to the end of one of these, or you could use it for the end of that forehead effect piece as well if you want to do that. So that's pretty cool to have this. I do like that feature, and I think I wanted to use those hands for this big old invisible shield, but I really had a hard time getting her propping this up, because you're supposed to put these on the hands and then port these in the inside right here, and it's just so much weight that this thing would just fall off every time. So yeah, I had a hard time with it, but I do think it's very cool. I mean, look at that. You have these bullet ricochet effect pieces over here, which are just really badass. And lastly, you also get this piece right here, which is really cool to use. I wonder if you can get this on her forehead. Can that magnet hold the weight of it all? I don't think so. No, it's coming off. But you could still do this, which is pretty cool. I actually want to demonstrate this, or attempt to. So you have the open hands over here. I feel like that should work right there. And then you have this right here. Porting this on is a little bit weird. but this is what you're supposed to do. Maybe I'm using the wrong hand on this side. I guess that could kind of work. So you have those on there. Then you're supposed to plug each of those spikes into the shield right here. And it's like lining all this up and getting her to support all this weight. It's just ridiculous, man. It just doesn't work. But hey, you can still use it for displaying. There's still a lot of cool things you could do with it. I still like having it. And here's looking at Mr. Fantastic, and he does come with 3 different heads, and I gotta say this is my favorite one out of the 3. I really like this a lot. This is actually my second favorite figure from this set, and I like the touch of gray right there on the side. It's actually white paint it looks like, but the hair sculpt looks really good. I like the attention to detail right over here. Looks awesome. And then you also get this angrier Reed Richards head right here, which I also like. Very, very cool. So you gotta have that. And then we have the Dan Larson head. Well, it looks a bit less like Dan Larson compared to some other bearded Mr. Fantastic heads, but I'm happy this is included, but I'm not gonna have them displayed with this. Most likely with this head sculpt. Maybe this one. We'll see. And the body is not the same as Johnny Storm's. Now, there may be some reused arm and leg pieces here and there maybe, but like his torso is substantially wider, and that's for his upper torso interchangeable accessory piece. The fabric looks good throughout still. I do like it. You get the seam in the crack again. The legs look pretty solid. You get the little 4s on the forearms right over there. Nice glove details, by the way. He does come with a set of fist hands right there as well. Then he has an extra wide open hand, or it could be an ultimate nullifier holding hand, however you want to look at it. And then he has a left pointing finger right here. Here's the ultimate nullifier, looking pretty sweet with that nice detailed blue over it. This is the best ultimate nullifier I've actually ever seen made. I really like it a lot. So that's pretty damn awesome. I do like this, yeah. And then you can see the boots right over here. It sounds like a lawnmower is going off outside for some reason, damn it. But yeah, you could see the little bit of glossiness at the bottom of the feet right over here, as well as those treads. Yeah, extra editing due to the noise in the background. It's hard to focus. And this belt does not slide around so much. It is stationary. You get these 2 giant hands right over here, which look awesome with these details on the inside of them. I really like that a lot. These are very well sculpted, and they're fairly soft too, so that's pretty cool. And Mr. Fantastic also comes with interchangeable calves, which I think is great, and they are bendy, and they have ankle pivots still. Maybe not the very best ankle pivot, but I love that we get these right here. You just have to make sure that you really push in all the way when you take these off and put them on, and you can hear it click and it still came off right there. So that can be a little tricky. You can see how the fabric is bunched up right here. So putting this on can be a little bit tricky because you have this knee joint right here and it wants to slide. I feel like I ripped a little piece of fabric right over there. So yeah, be mindful, be careful. Don't be a reviewer doing this. This is looking pretty good right here like that. That's pretty sweet. So I did enjoy this. And then, yeah, while doing that, I accidentally took this apart right over here. I wish it could stay on a little bit better than that. I feel like it does pop off a little bit easy, but I love this. This is so freaking cool. You get bendy wire all the way in there, and the arms are all bendy right here. He's got hinges and everything, and this is just so fun to play around with. I love this. This just takes it up to another level. I'm just so happy to have it. And then I don't remember taking off the neck piece, but he has a little fleshy neck piece right here. You can go ahead and just put on his extendo neck like there if you want to. But yeah, I guess I misplaced it. He has a regular flesh piece that's supposed to go inside there. And I don't have this ported on all the way. There it goes. You have to like really smush it on there. A little tricky to get that on, but damn, this is so sick. And then you can just port a head right up over here. And then now you have long neck Mr. Fantastic, and that is so gross and cool at the same time. I just wish I knew where I put that little neck thingy. He has his own little neck collar. I was doing so well keeping things organized in my Mezco bags, which, by the way, they each come with their own stand. Almost forgot to show these, but the figure set does come with 4 of these bases right here with the peg that can be removed, and you get 4 of these clear stands. But yeah, getting back to all of this, and I could have sworn I'd left that flesh piece inside that bag. I'm so mad at myself right now. But still, he's going to be displayed with this thing on here, so I'm not that bummed out about it. But damn, dude, this is so fun, getting all these crazy pieces attached right over here. I really like it a lot. Add another big old hand right there. It's even more fun. I am such a genius, I outsmart myself sometimes. The neck piece is attached to the regular body right there. So, duh. So you can go ahead and peel this off and then attach it right over here So you could have just a regular neck on this. See, that port at the waist does fall off a lot easier than I'd like it to. Yeah, with some patience and pressure, you can get that in there. That does not look great, but still, you can make this happen. Yeah, know what? I gotta take it back. Thing is my second favorite out of these figures. I really love all 4 of these head sculpts. I can't believe they included 4 head sculpts with this guy, and they all look great. I love the bright blue eyes. He's gotta have them, and they look fantastic. The paint detail on all these heads, or on the whole figure in its entirety, just looks great. You get a lot of accessories with these two, man. This guy comes with a ton. So he's got a more angrier face right over there, and then he also has a really mean face right over here with the teeth showing. I love this one. And then he's got the super yelling angry one, super yelling, super angry and yelling one. Look at those teeth, the gums. Oh man, that's so badass. I love all 4 of these head sculpts. Tricky to choose which one to leave him displayed with. I don't know. I don't know which one to go with. And then he also does come with his disguise. I just want to show off the fedora sitting on top of one of the heads. I always forget which way to have this pointed. And he's got his sunglasses as well, which are really not that hard to put on here. But yeah, you can see you got Ben Grimm in disguise right there. He also comes with the trench coat, which we'll look at more in greater detail in just a moment. I wanted to look at this body first because I love the sculpt and I love the wash that you can see. Or it looks like we have multiple washes over this, and I just think it's great that they got these butterfly joints sculpted in there. They're painted in there as well. Just all these hinges. Look at that. The hinges on the shoulders are painted and sculpted. Damn, they did such a good job. Back of the figure spares no paint at all. Just really stoked about how this came out. Belt looks good. The 4 looks good right there. You can even see the elbow hinges right here have some sculpted rock details in there, which I've seen before with other figures, but I don't know, to this extent, it just seems a bit extra. I love when I have a hard time finding the seam right here too. That's so neat. They did such a good job with this, and their hands are all soft and rubbery, so it's easy to swap them out. Look at the details on the paint right here. Oh, that's so sick. You also get some weapon-holding hands right here with a wider grip, or I guess these are the weapon-holding hands. These are kind of like just wider hands, and then you also get a set of fist hands, of course, which is awesome. He also has some very cool effects punching pieces right here, which is really neat, so you could go ahead and port these on. Did I pick the wrong one? They are uniform to each hand, so you have to make sure you grab the right one, but damn, that is so sick. Boom! So yeah, you get 2 of those, which is great. Very happy to have that. You can see the rock under the shorts right over here. Ooh, that's what she said. And then there's the thing butt right there, and then the legs look really good. Get the nice looking pinless joints right there. But yeah, look at the feet. They look really good. And yeah, those thing toes right there. Very, very well done. Even nicely painted bottoms of the feet right here too with peg holes. And then he has the cool, iconic trench coat, which isn't really too tricky to put on the figure. I'm not demonstrating that, but I really love that we get bendy wire throughout on the inside of the coat and on the outside right here around the collar, so you could flip that up if you want. And the belt itself has bendy wire in it as well. You have bendy wire moving all the way through the bottom. Does he actually have pockets? And he has pockets where you could, I don't know, you can't put his hands in there, but he actually has lined pockets, which is really awesome. All the buttons look pretty good on this. I love this accessory, but I also love these accessories too, and you could kind of see light going through this Yancey Street, City Street light bulb, and I love that. This is so cool, and it's painted out very well. See the wires at the bottom, but it's got a bendy wire in it, so you could have him bending this and everything, which is great. And then he also comes with this awesome I-beam, which is painted out very nicely. I love this, and it's also got bendy wire in there too. So they've thought of everything, man. I mean, there's not one accessory missing with the Thing figure that I could think of. They got it all covered with this guy, and I absolutely love it. So I don't know how thorough I need to get into the articulation with all these figures. These 3 have a ball joint at the neck and the head. Ben over here only has a dumbbell joint for the neck and head. He could look up a decent amount, but you do get more range of movement right here with the Mr. Fantastic and the Human Torch. It's a little bit different with this flamey head right here, but yeah, he could look up very far, so that really helps with flying, even though I wish he could look up a little bit more than that. And you get pivoting at the necks, and they can look down and turn side to side. No butterfly joints, but you can move them outward right there at the shoulders. Well, this feels like a butterfly joint right here with Johnny, but Sue and Reed don't have that. He obviously does, so no butterfly joint here. No butterfly joint here, but he definitely has the butterfly joints, which don't move forward and back as much as I'd like them to. You can see it just not shifting forward and back. So it's just barely a butterfly joint. You get nice ball joints right there at the shoulders with the thing. You could rotate a full 360. Whoa, you can see that butterfly joint actually functions now a little bit more so. Since I've rotated it like that, you get a bicep swivel, single jointed elbows, and they'll bend in at 90 degrees. And then you also get the hinge and ball system right here at the wrists. You have a diaphragm cut right here. A little bit of diaphragm pivoting. Moves back, moves forward, waist cut, or I feel like it's the waist. Yeah, it is the waist moving right there. No waist pivoting, but it will move side to side. Hips move outward that far. He'll kick forward, move back the tiniest bit, upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, and then the ankles move down a little bit. They don't really move up, and he doesn't really have ankle pivot. They could rotate side to side, but yeah, I feel like I'm going to have to cut into those ankles right there to get more pivot out of there, which bums me out. That's always my number one gripe with Mezco toys, is the lack of love for the ankle pivot. So no butterfly joints right here for Reed. This waist piece pops off so much easier than I'd like to, but the arms are pretty standard for a Mezco figure, so nothing really crazy there. The diaphragm joint works pretty well. If you can get it to pivot and crunch without popping this off, well, good luck. But yeah, without popping off, damn, that waist joint just does not want to stay. I could barely move it at all without it popping off, so that bums me out. The legs are pretty Mezco standard, so not a whole lot to say right there. But the ankles, they move down and up a little bit, ankle pivot, and then it's very subtle. Similar articulation right here with Sue, even though she does stay together fairly well. She could look up a lot, which is pretty crazy. So I do like that. The arms are pretty standard. Well, she only gets the 90-degree bend right there at the elbows, so I wish she had double-jointed elbows. The diaphragm cut moves side to side and pivots, moves forward and back. Waist cut moves side to side. It doesn't pivot much. Hips move outward, and she'll kick forward, back, upper thigh cut, double-jointed knees, please. Okay, well, she'll only bend in that far. This is not my favorite figure out of the four. And then she has ankles that do move up, and she has the best ankle pivot out of the four of them. And then Johnny right here, he does have the butterfly joints. Shoulders will move outward, rotate forward and back, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. Diaphragm and waist joints work pretty well, so he could crunch forward pretty far. There goes the head, and you can see the electronics for the light up feature in there. So don't want, and I accidentally turned it on. That's kind of neat, but without moving those hips, you can crunch that far forward, pretty far back, pivots quite a bit. So he's got the most range of movement out of the four of them for sure. Yeah, those leg joints work out really well. Boots rotate, ankles down, not up, and barely any ankle pivot. And to measure out these 5 figures, yeah, I'm calling Herbie a figure. That thing's full on a figure, man, for sure. You can see it stands just a little under 4 inches tall. Invisible Woman, she's standing a bit under 6.5 inches. Looks like Reed and Human Torch are both standing just a little over 6.5 inches. Of course, that flame is making him stand a little bit taller than Mr. Fantastic. And then the height on the thing here looks pretty good, just a bit under the 7-inch mark. I used to think that the thing had to be a little bit bigger than he is, but of course, since, reading the original books, I think this height is fine. There's actually some panels where he's even shorter than Reed. So this is okay for me. I do like it. Now to measure out this Mr. Fantastic with everything applied to him right here, which reminds me of that old school movie Toy Biz Mr. Fantastic figure. You can see this stands at about 14 to 14.5 inches tall. Then seeing Human Torch over here attached to his flame effect, he's at about 11.5 inches tall. The flame effect itself stands at about 7.25 inches. And I don't have too many size comparisons for you guys, but I wanted to throw in the Mezco Spider-Man 2.0 figure, and I think he scales okay. I mean, I know this is supposed to be a younger Spider-Man, but I always thought, Johnny Storm and Spider-Man were about the same age, about the same height and everything. So yeah, you can see Spidey's definitely way shorter. It bugs me a little. Just not a ton. Then here's our Mezco Fantastic Four figures next to a couple of Marvel Legends Fantastic Four figures using the blue and black theme. And this is a very old Human Torch right over here, so this barely counts. But yeah, the turquoise Walgreens exclusive, I like this set. I have it on my display, but it's just not my absolute favorite. I would like to see Hasbro make a solid blue and black Fantastic Four team with this kind of color scheme. That would be sweet. Then here's our Mezco Fantastic Four figures next to our most recently released Fantastic Four figures from Hasbro. And yeah, you can see the heights are pretty similar. I do like this thing a lot though. I did customize it, so I guess I don't like it that much because I had to customize it, but I just really wanted to see these two side by side. These Legends figures are smaller than all those Mezcos over there. But yeah, the thing, you get a much larger thing with the Marvel Legends, which again, isn't terrible that, you know, this Mezco figure is scaled the way it is. It's still comic accurate in my opinion, but I just like the thing being a little bit larger. And then here's the Mezco Fantastic Four set next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man, no stop motion, because this video took me like 16 hours to make. I don't know if it was exactly 16 hours, but it has taken me a ridiculous amount of time, and I'd be surprised the majority of you made it to this point in the video anyway. But I gotta say, this has been a work of passion putting this video together because I absolutely love these figures. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I did because I really like this set a lot. I love this set, but I have my qualms with it. I hope you love this video. If you did, hit that like button. And if you love this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. This is a $400 set, and I really feel like Mezco gave us a $100 figure per figure over here, plus the bonus Herbie. So if there's anything that felt like it was a little on the short side, which I guess maybe Invisible Woman, maybe, then it would make up for it with the Herbie figure. So I really feel like the price point for this is totally worth it. There's a lot of good quality with these figures, even though I did run into a couple of things. You know, you have to be careful with their soft goods, man. It is fabric. It's gotta have its own way of being handled and everything. But I really think this is a very cool set. I really do like it a lot, and I'm super happy to have it. It's not my absolute favorite 4-pack. I do like the TMNT set more. I was hoping I would like this as much as I like that set. That TMNT set, that first version 4-pack that Mezco did, that's an absolute home run. But this one right here, this is very cool too, just not as sick. And I will have the Mezco Doctor Doom coming my way soon, so stay tuned for that. And I gotta say, at the price point of $400 for this 4-pack, I'm going to give it a Sud rating of...
I love it!
I guess my biggest gripe with the set would probably be exchanging the Herbie for a translucent Human Torch figure, flamed on. That would be my preference, but I really like the Herbie too, and I like the little details along with it. I want to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see the latest in Marvel news, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face.